Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. This is the Lamley Saturday Showcase. That's where I take an element of the collection and we do a bit of a deep dive into it. And hopefully you can tell already, or obviously by the title of the video, that we are looking at Matchbox BMWs, most specifically this set of 8 right here. This is the 2003 BMW Dealer Set. And I'm going to try and explain to you what it is, but this is very, very cool. I think you will like this. Whether you're a BMW fan, Matchbox fan, or just a diecast fan, this is a very unique, very cool set, something that you won't see today. All right, what are we looking at? Well, I'm going to show you. We've seen before, I think Subaru is doing this right now. I think Mercedes has done it. We've seen plenty of like 164 or small scale diecast models done by car dealers or car manufacturers, right? You've seen Subaru has their 164 scale models right now. Some of them are really cool, like super realistic. They're usually commissioned by, well, they're commissioned by the company, but then done by some, I don't want to say generic, but some toy brand that maybe isn't the most, like it might be just some sort of toy manufacturer, right? I don't know what I'm trying to say. You look at this and you kind of think that's what it is. Look at the box. You see the BMW logo right there at the top. You see the name of the car. This is the BMW 3 Series Coupe or Coupe. On the back, you can see what the models are. On the bottom, you can see a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Of course, you can see the model in the window, but if you look to the side, you finally see, oh, manufactured by Matchbox. That's it. No Matchbox logo anywhere other than on the sides. That's an ugly Matchbox logo, by the way. That was I think when Mattel first got it, they changed it. They went away from the lozenge, and then they've thankfully gone back to that because I don't really like that logo. But BMW commissioned this set of 8 cars to be done by Matchbox to be sold at dealerships. Now, I believe the dealerships that they sold them at were in Europe only. I could be wrong on that. And I wasn't really collecting at the time, so I don't know how easy these were to get in Europe. I think in Europe they were fairly easy if you knew where to go. But I don't think you get them in stores, and I don't know if hobby dealers were able to get these. I don't know exactly how they were distributed, and I don't know how many were made, but these things are super hard to come by now. You'll see them pop up occasionally on eBay, but the set is awesome. It's beautiful. Now, this also speaks to what Matchbox was like at the time. They did so many different versions of so many castings, all realistic. All right, what you're looking at? You're looking at the 3 Series Coupe or Coupe. We already talked about that in blue. This is the 2-door version. We have seen this casting. We saw it a lot up through about 2006, 2007, all the way back quite a few years. But here's what Matchbox does. They take this one, and they also do a 4-door. Now, I don't know if this one was done for this BMW set, but there were a few castings that were done for this dealer set. So you have the coupe. Now you have the saloon or the 4-door BMW 3 Series. And then if you just want to keep that going, here's another 4-door. This time, police car. Obviously, there's the police deco on it, but there's also a light at the top. So there's your third version of the 3 Series BMW. And just for kicks in this series, they did a 4th BMW 3 Series convertible. Tooled up a convertible. Also gave it opening doors, which was unique to the 3 Series. We saw this one other time, this model, in a Stars of Germany or Stars of Cars set, which was only sold in Europe. So they did this set. Now you can see, it's hard to see in the window, but we'll open these up. You can see that it has front and rear detailing. We'll get to that. Those are the 4 3 Series models that were done. This is, like I said, about 2003. How about this one? We're going to get into the X5 when we get into the rotating display. But this was done, the BMW X5, this silver version, and I just love this version, was done with opening doors. It's the only time they did it. We never saw it in the mainline or in a premium version since. I don't know if they even have this tool anymore. It'd be cool to see it return. Since Matchbox is going to try and do some opening features this year, right? At least that's the plan. So that would be a cool one to return if they had the tool. I doubt they do. But done in 2003, just to add a little variety to the set. Here's a BMW that had already been out quite a while at the time. This is the 850i. These rubber bands are there so that the doors don't swing open. I don't know if that was a big deal or not. We need to open that one. So I'm going to put these to the side, the ones I want to open. Put those over here. BMW Z3 Roadster, again with opening doors. One I don't know if was tooled up for this one. They had done an older Z3. If you look on eBay, you can see some of the older Z3s. And then they did the Z8. You can see the colors are clean. All the wheels are the same. They tried to make this as realistic as possible. And you can see that I think this one, you'll see I already have a loose version here, how clean the colors are on this one. All right, let's open up one. And then I'll open up some others, and then we'll go to the rotating display. Here's what's cool. This side of the box is sealed. This side of the box is just easy to open, meaning you don't have to damage anything. For those of you that like things packaged, you can still pull the model out. Get that out like that. There's a little window. I'm going to keep this box intact. Here's the model. I remember this. You have to kind of finagle things just a bit. Just take the rubber band off. Okay, we'll go ahead and put that on the rotating display in a little bit. But yeah, there's the opening doors. Take a look at the door in there. See any details on the doors. Pretty, right? They didn't do a lot of detailing on the actual rear lights or front headlights, but if you look closely, you can see that the headlight is actually painted, I believe. I could be wrong, but the front grille isn't. It's pretty clean looking. All right. I'm going to break away. I'm going to open up these other two. Might open up this police car as well because I don't think I have it. And we're going to walk through some of these other BMWs I've got. All right, I'll be right back. All right, all opened. I already had 4 loose. I had pursued these 4 right here already and had them loose in the collection. And when I had the opportunity to buy the entire dealer set, instead of just buying the ones I want, I went ahead and bought the entire set box because it's nice to have these extras here. All right, should we get over to the rotator? Let's do it. Okay, obviously this is not part of the BMW set from 2003. This is the BMW i3 that was released in 2017 by Matchbox, but I thought it would be prudent to start there. There was a gap when BMW and Mattel had no licensing agreement. And so from about, I think around 2009, 2010 to about 2015, I could be a little wrong on that, maybe 2013, about 3 or 4 years, there was no BMWs coming from either Hot Wheels or Matchbox. Thankfully, we have the license now, and it is quite fruitful. This is the i3. We know the i8 is coming from Matchbox in both an opening door and non-opening door version. From Matchbox in 2018. Here's the BMW M5 police car. This was the Toy Fair model from, not Toy Fair, but the toy show model from Germany, Leipzig. I hope I said that right, in 2016. So we've seen that from BMW. This is another one of the M5 police cars. We saw that in the Best of World series. Sporting the Hot Wheels Real Riders. Remember, this is the Saturday Showcase. We get to do some deep dives. I like doing deep dives. Also from the Best of World series. Remember this one? This is the BMW 1M. I might do a whole series on the 1M. It's one of my favorite Matchbox castings. I'll show a couple of others. This is from the Germany, and you can see it says M1 on the front. This is from the German set. Or from the the German toy show from 2013, I think. Hence the number 13 on it. Kind of a tribute to the BMW CSL. But BMW asked Matchbox to call it the M1 for a while, which just doesn't make any sense. Hot Wheels has the M2 coming out here in the next month or two, which is kind of exciting. But the M1 is one of my 1M is one of my all-time favorites. This was the first edition in orange. If you ever want to see something fun, go find when Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear reviewed this one. He just fell in love with the car, and it gets you more excited about this casting. I don't show pre-pros very much, pre-production models, but this is one I won at auction a few years ago at the Albuquerque event. And this is a pre-production model. You can see it's got some paint chips and the whole nine. It's got the Barbie interior is what they called it. It was like a test interior. But Matchbox donated this, and you can see it says ABQ11. They burned that in there just to make sure that these were acquired properly, that they weren't stolen. And so that's why they did that. And they don't do that anymore, but they did it at that time. So that's a pre-production. All right. Let's get back to the BMWs. Those are some of the more recent ones. We've also seen recently a retool of the BMW X5 Police. We're going to get to that in just a second because we have some X5s to look at. Shall we walk through it? All right, let's go through those BMW 3 Series first. I had mentioned this one. Now I want to show you metal base. Not all of these have a metal chassis, but this one does, and it was eventually converted to a plastic chassis on later versions. We started seeing all of this happen mid-2000s, that all the plastic chassis were moved in. You can see how simple this car is. It's got the Matchbox lace wheels on it, dark blue, gray interior, and then front and rear tampo. They didn't detail the headlights or the taillights, but they didn't need to. Just show that difference. Look at the detail in the side mirrors too, just in the way the metal is cast. It's kind of cool. Matchbox has always been about doing the side mirrors. They have missed a couple, but they get it for the most part. So we saw a lot of versions of this two-door 3 Series through the years. We didn't see as many of this one. I think it may have started as a police car. We'll get to that police version, but there's quite a few police versions, but there's not very many of the 4-door. I have a couple. I'm not going to pull them out right now. But this one is my favorite. Metal base. Yep, metal chassis. Remember, these were only available in European BMW dealerships. Maybe other places. I do like how Matchbox puts the... they like to show that rear mirror in the window. I don't think they do that anymore, do they? I don't see it on the M5 or the 1M. So there's that. Metal chassis, yep, painted black on the police car. You can see the detail on the police light up top. They painted it, the plastic's blue, but they painted it green on top. Pretty nice, right? Like I said, these don't come around that often on eBay, but you gotta look. All right, here's the convertible. Let me open the doors on this one. Check out the detail on the doors. How nice is that, huh? It'll be very interesting to see these new pieces from Matchbox, how they work. They're not going to be $1, I'll tell you that, but I'm really curious to see how these new opening feature models look and work. You can see the windshield is a little bent on it, and I think that just comes with the packaging, right? It just happens. I mean, these are... I just opened it, right? Just a minute ago. They've been sealed since 2003. That's 15 years. All right. 850i. Such a cool car. Get that door. One of the problems with opening features is you get that door that just seems a little... If I'm perfectly honest, I'm not really that into opening features. If they're done right, and I think Matchbox did it well here, it's cool, but it doesn't really... I don't miss it. I think it's cool that Matchbox is doing it because it's a good way of differentiating their brand from like Hot Wheels. Majorette does it, I think, pretty well. Okay, this one is this Z8. You can see how clean all the deco is on the front and rear. The best thing about this one, it's that color. It is one of the prettiest silvers I've ever seen on a die-cast car. It looks like it's real, like paint from a real car. And maybe that's not coming across in the video, but The interior is a little toyish in terms of its red color, but my goodness, the color of the silver on this one is incredible. Z3 Roadster. This one's a little more metal flake, I think. Look at those detailed side mirrors too. You're not going to see that today. I think when you look at this, you can see that when Matchbox tried to get a little more toyish back in the, about 2010, 2011, why Matchbox collectors were so bummed out. Because this stuff's so good. And it's really nice to see them coming back to it. Not 100% to what this was, but they're back to it. A lot better realistic models coming out like those BMWs I showed you. All right, here's the X5. I said it has opening doors. Let me open them up. So cool that they did this just for this set. I think there was probably an intention to bring these models, or to bring this opening door model to other series, but it never happened. Again, all the detail in the doors. I'll give you here. Here's an evolution of the X5 before we finish that. So they started with just a standard version. Now this is the super fast from several years after, but they had the regular version of the BMW X5, just the road version. This one's pretty in blue. And then they said, just like the 3 Series, they just started doing other things. So why don't we do a police version? So they did. Here's one of them. This was from the I think Stars of Cars series. Look how clean all that deco is on it too. So detailed. There's quite a few of the BMW, or I'm sorry, the X5 police. I guess that's BMW. Then they did one with a metal chassis. This is from the Lesney series. Notice this one was a continuation. The M5 was a continuation of the X5 police car. Same color interior, everything. Except the M5 has the Real Riders on it. So this is the metal base X5 police. And then they retooled the X5 police. So now the roof light is part of the window. There was a weird issue with the, if you look at this, notice how that you can't push that in. So notice how the driver's side wheel is pushed out a little bit. I don't know what happened to cause that, but it happened on all of them. Even the metal chassis, they weren't able to fix it. But they did when they retooled the X5. It's much more even. Isn't that interesting? I don't know how all that happens, but when you make a tool, if you can't fix it, you can't fix it. So you have to redo it. So they totally redid it. I'd like to see this casting come back. That's really, really nice. All right. So there's all of those. And then, of course, there's this opening door feature, which was done right in the middle of it all in 2003. And we never saw it again. This is one of my all-timers. I know I just finished saying I don't care about opening doors, but this version is just clean in all the sense of the word. It's just awesome. I like the low-profile wheels on it, everything. All right, that's full-on BMW, guys. We've dove deep into BMW and that BMW dealer set. It's a cool one to find. I would have searched it on eBay. They come up, but you got to pay. You're going to pay for them. But it's worth it. They are very cool, kind of historic models, and really from what I call the golden age of Matchbox. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Saturday showcase. I'll talk to you later. Probably tomorrow. Bye.